Hello, it's her. As some of you may know, there is some current drama going on in the world of old school RuneScape, being from a man simply known as Odablock. Now, Odablock has recently come under some fire for religious beliefs, and has come under fire from the actual Jagex moderation team due to some unforeseen situation. So it has come to light, and to break the story down in short, Oda wanted to do this thing. Suddenly somebody else's thing, we'll call her Stella, she was doing the same thing. She didn't like it, so she, got Mr. Mod Trident and, fucked up Oda's life, basically. So what we've come to the conclusion is Stella is supposedly real world trading from Oldschool RuneScape GP. Now, it is not a surprise that this is a thing coming from Stella, as she does have a dual arena background. As some of you may know, Stella would be the type to literally gamble billions and then ask for loans and then not repay said loans. So as you can imagine, she is not a figurehead in the community, but somehow she was able to get herself a personal J-mod as a significant other. Significant being key word there. So as you can tell, having a J-mod on your side, you could pretty much get away with a lot of things. I can imagine if me and Mod Ash were in a healthy relationship, I'm sure I would get away with a lot more than if I wasn't, sucking the cock of an admin. With that being said, Stella has a gambling Discord. Now, the gambling Discord is now officially ended. It was mass reported and then banned, presumably by Odablock viewers and fans who are awfully upset of Odablock's banning. As you can imagine, the ban has pissed off the community to high heaven. Granted, I'm not a huge fan of Odablock. I won't pretend and say, I'm a massive fan of his content, because realistically, I don't really watch that much of his content, because he is on a different side of content that I would prefer, sort of thing. I would rather, I'm not going to go into detail about what I would rather watch, but the point is, I'm not a huge Odablock fan, but I can appreciate when something is scummy, something is incredibly scummy, and I don't think that my sort of commentary on the situation will actually change anything, but I was able to have a conversation with presumably one of Stella's admins. Now, this was in her friend's chat, and I just wanted to go through a couple of questions with him in order to sort of find out a bit more about what they see from their side, being Stella, Mod Trident, and her Discord side. So I started off by saying, hello, Don. Keep in mind, this conversation predated because we did speak in the Stella Space CC clan chat, which is the friend's chat that she would use to basically, set up these. And you'll see, looking for Bandos 500 mil and all that sort of stuff. So I spoke to Don Dudder, who had a star as a rank in the French chat. Presumably that makes him a moderator elsewhere, or somebody who, Stella can trust. I said, hello, Don. It's not nonsense, but if Stella's side is legitimate, it deserves a platform to defend itself, because, as anybody would know, you are, innocent until proven guilty. And, or, if there is something, and there is something that we don't know, everybody deserves a platform to defend themselves. So I said, if it is legitimate, it deserves a platform to defend itself. Don Dudder replied, there is no need to defend oneself from easily disposable things, if you just look with two eyes. Basically saying, look into the actual facts itself, you'll see that nothing shady is going on. I said that's the thing. Not everybody is looking at all the facts, because a lot of people will just go, Odablock said fuck this person, well, I guess fuck this person. So Don Dudder replied, we don't break the rules, hence we are not banned. So he's saying we're not banned because we haven't actually broken any of the TOS rules. He said we don't use bots, or we would be banned. He also then states Stella is held to a higher standard than any RuneScape streamer. So we are now in the realm of Stella is a god. She is held to the highest of standard in the eyes of Jagex, because she is who she is. So she had to make her own account from scratch, not just mooch it off. Which, I don't understand what that... Mooch it off viewers, sorry. So what he's implying there is the viewer... She had to do everything herself. She has gained everything herself because she wouldn't mooch off the viewers. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, and this is me just being a partial person who doesn't really give a fuck, but it's always fun to talk about drama in the old school RuneScape sort of world and realm that we are in. If I'm not mistaken, she did a lot of gambling where she would borrow money off streamers, or not borrow money. She would do a lot of gambling and she would borrow money off people, but then never pay it back, and that makes you wonder: isn't that a form of mooching? Isn't she mooching off people by doing that? But who knows? So I said, she is held to a higher standard. What do you mean by that? He then replies, Mod Trident is unbiased. I haven't said anything about Trident at this point. He's banned Stella and anyone in RCC who broke Jagex TOS. So what he's saying there is, if Stella did break TOS, even though due to Stella's comments stating that they are dating, he would ban her still. He would ban his significant other, or, you know, in this case, Stella, if she broke any of the TOS, which I find incredibly hard to believe. I will have an argument with my missus, and I'll be the one to say that I'm sorry at the end of it, you know? So if she broke, if I was, you know, a developer of a game, or somebody who had, you know, admin powers, or a moderator in any sense, if my significant other, you know, broke any sort of rules or anything like that, most they'd get is a slap on the wrist, and I think that's just me being me. But I can imagine Mod Trident, it's probably the same. If anything, he's probably based down in Cambridge, which is where Jagex is based, and that makes you think, where is Stella from? I believe she's from the US, so clearly she is just the E-kitten in this situation, and he is the E-doggy. That is incredibly cringe. I'm sorry for saying it that way. So he says, it's all verifiable on Jagex's end, and the truth will come out when they are, drum roll, when they are ready. With no rule break, when they're ready. So what he's saying is Jagex has all the material facts, and when they are ready to make comment on it, which will no doubt be on Reddit, they will be, you know, doing so, and they're comfortable to do so because they have all the material facts. So I then say to Don Dada, with no rule breaks in place, what would be the reason for the Discord being banned? You know, this is just something that is just a genuine question, because I'm not really on the Discord side of things when it comes to why stuff would happen or why a Discord is, you know, working a certain way. I'm not too familiar with the admin side of Discord. And then he also, just to reiterate on his previous point, he says lots will be disappointed to see their hero just tell fairy tales. So he's basically implying that Oda is just talking out of his rectum, and that none of this is true. But you've got to see it from our side. This is very suspicious. He said Discords are easy to get banned. They ban for vague reasons. So I said they never went into detail regarding the Discord ban. I said, one last question. I will let you get on your day, and I appreciate the time to message me back, seeing he is, you know, Stella's right-hand man sort of thing. He said it's just an automated ban stating the server was used for gambling. So he's saying even though the server had no gambling anywhere in it, but forgive me if I'm wrong, but you are now saying that a deathmatch server where they're talking about doing 1v1s for money and the winner takes all of the money isn't a form of gambling. Forgive me for not being the most versed on the gambling terms, but I can imagine that's a form of gambling. Let me just check I've actually been recording. That would have been embarrassing. So he's saying even though the server had no gambling in it. Fair enough. I said, in regard to the Bitcoin wallet, which is owned by Stella, how does this explain the numerous amounts of the same amount of money going in every couple of days? He then replies saying, both wallets are hers. She's allowed to send money to herself. You can literally see all the receipts are from the same two wallets, LMFAO. She can even prove she sends the wallet by sending. She can even prove she owns the send wallet by sending from it. And I said, I'm just going off the census of what is current public knowledge. Thank you very much for your time. I then asked another question, but he never got back to me. He said, So I said, going off public knowledge. He said, public knowledge is poorly researched nonsense. I said, it begs the question though. Why would somebody send money back and forth between two Bitcoin wallets if they had nothing to hide? Now that makes you wonder, and it makes me wonder, and it's got my head scratching a little bit, but it makes you think, why would you send money from one wallet to another wallet, back to the same wallet, you know, back and forth, like a yo-yo? You know, it makes you wonder. It really does. Now the question is, see, because I'm uneducated on Bitcoin, and I'm not going to spend research on a subject that I don't really care about, I just think it's good to talk about, you know, RuneScape drama, but if you've got a Bitcoin wallet, can somebody else access that Bitcoin wallet, or is that something they can't do? Now, if you are educated in somewhat Bitcoin and all this crypto nonsense, I mean, if you do crypto and if you made bread from it, well done, proud of you. But can you share wallets? Can you do that sort of thing, or is that not possible? But that's, you know, what I was able to get from speaking to somebody else. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to let me know. Press the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. My name is Hare, and yeah, see you next time, guys.